couldn't turn up. Now they're missing Dupree, which I think is even a tougher loss.
And not to mention Glaive also.
Yeah,
and
sure.
now Glaive's been fragging well. He's been adapting well. They've been pleased with his performance. But it's one thing to change one player.
Yep.
Okay, it's easy. I wouldn't say easy. It's still difficult, but it's easy enough to slot in one player if you have to. You know, the timings, flashes, that kind of stuff change.
2 weeks to actually go everything right.
Exactly. So they could implement that. Bringing Zonic and Cole and already having to make adjustments. This is the toughest challenge ever. I mean, we talked about NIP in Columbus having to just retain their legendary status. That had to be the goal with Threat In. That has to be the goal now for Astralis. Just get through this best of three. Anything else is gravy.
The thing is, though, with their head Glaive, that was the only objective they had, right? That was all they had to do, was just get to the legendary status. Now it gets a little bit harder. We are going to keep kicking things off on Cobble here. Looks like we're ready to get into the game as well. Side Dignitas, of course, on the tees. They've got 3 sets of armor, 2 smokes, a couple of flashbangs to work with as well. And like I said, I really do favor Dignitas. I think, in my opinion, they've got one of the most fundamental T-sides in the world. They're very good at understanding the map, working the control, and again, very fast towards drop-down config, opening things up.
And it's Glaive that goes down first. Cajun B, he'll be the one to enter against his former team. It's Zippix that's trying to slow them down. Device does pick up 2. This bodes well for them. He's still at Chicken Coop, but they're slowly pushing on him. Gets the reload in time, but can't get the kill on to Cajun. It's Kerrigan that found config in the meantime, though, that leaves it 2 versus 2, and Cajun planting bomb. Covered off by MSL does mean they have to go for the defuse. Good shot by Kerrigan to start it. Zippix has the kit. Cajun trapped behind the statue, but they don't exactly know where he is. That'll give it up. As Zippix spots no armor, can't afford the repeat just yet. Kerrigan to clutch it down.
It's a good start. Astralis. It's going to be Kerrigan this time, getting 3 kills. A very fast play from Dignitas towards the B side. Sorry, going towards drop down. Actually got the entry kill as well by Kerrigan coming in. I think they go okay. 4 Tech 9s, 1 AK-47. So this is the force, but we've seen this a lot recently in CSGO meta. It was a big tactic at 1.6 in source. Like obviously the AK was $200 cheaper. You didn't need Molotovs. It was a lot more viable back then. It still is a strong option here. If you get kills in that pistol round, you can bring it and surprise the CTs. They've actually forced up though themselves. They've got 4 rifles to work with. Well, 3 rifles and 2 UMPs, which can be very strong weapons as well. It's going to be Rubino walking towards our platform and trying to find that first pick.
Rubino, quick Molotov off to Chicken Coop just to clear the position. Smoke gap. But a flash comes out, they can't see through it towards Statue. Tech 9's getting closer. Good wall of smoke setup with this utility. They can get an easy bomb plant out of this. They're going to do so right now. And Cajun B starting off on Glaive. This is a very, very good situation for Dignitas to put themselves in. An additional Molotov dropped in the alley means they can't push around the tree, and Config can spray into it. He knows they have to be waiting in there somewhere. It's Rubino to take Zonic, who once again goes down early. As Zippix, he's going to fall as well. He only had 18 HP. It's down to just Kerrigan, 1 versus 3. So Dignitas with good execution, and Kerrigan just goes for the save.
Absolutely. Lots of shouting here. Dignitas obviously looking to get that playoff. This is a perfect opportunity here. It was a bit of a mixed bag going into it, best of 3. But now against Zonic, the chances definitely have been lifted. It's going to be Astralis with the semi-force by Higgins. Zonic, interesting enough, he's got the Mag 7. And Glaive and Device with the upgraded pistols and armor as well. They have a smoke and a couple of flash hole roll, right? You're just playing in the back to the side. You're aiming for 1 kill a round. That's all you need to do. Whether you have to hide in the corner and make it look like you're being very passive, you have to.
He felt bad for Dupree and Astralis as well.
It'll be a slightly hollow victory in that sense, but you're absolutely right. This means so much, and they want to get to that top 8. They need that legendary status. It's a new team with Cajun B coming in. They want to have those good stepping stones going forward, a good platform to work with, knowing they've guaranteed themselves the next major as well. That'll be a great confidence boost going forward. So, like I said, full eco this time for Astralis.
Just to clarify, you know, I offered to make it fair to say if Dignitas, if they needed to stand in, I would play, but for some reason they said no. I still can't figure that out.
I can't imagine why, you know? Well, they saw your performance against me in the 1v1.
That's why I'm surprised they didn't pick me up. You know, like I said, it would have made it fair.
Yeah.
MSL going to go back in toward danger. Zonic, he's going to be the one to fall down. Does get a little bit of damage toward MSL. Not much, to be fair, but gets information to the 3 other players at Long A that can try and swarm and cut off MSL. But good smoke on him means the boost. Well, all right, that works. Zippix through the smoke. I was going to say the boost will be rendered useless. However, Zippix just goes chasing, gets a Mac 10 for his troubles. They can fall back and play a little bit more passively inside of the site. In fact, they're going to read this, that this pick likely means they'll go toward B without information, and a quick rotation comes in.
It's not actually a big deal. We normally describe that reconnaissance player who can go into these situations by himself, work out if there's a stack towards a particular bomb site. He goes in and dies, just gives them the Mac 10. It's not the end of the world. You can see there's no real troubles here. They go to the B sites, and the CTs are rotating in. Device has found a kill on towards Cajun, but now he's giving his position away. He shouldn't get too much more out of this. Zippix, okay, that's actually pretty interesting. Now 1 versus 1, but Tensky does.
On the B site has gone quiet. So they're trying to get the upper hand. They're trying to get early rotations, which is something that Dignitas can perhaps get a read on as this game goes on.
If you look at the utility left of the T's, they've got plenty of smokes, flashbangs, CTs have no kits, no flashes, nothing. It's going to have to come down to raw firepower here, and they're really up against the ropes. This round should almost be guaranteed to the T's.
And Zonic's 17 HP. Watches stables when they get closer, but Rubino's able to walk in, miscue as no one watching that position, and Zonic left in the open. But again, it's Xyp9x. He's got this down to what was a 1 versus 4 to a 1 versus 3, and Tensky's low, but watching is the AWP on Cajun, spots the headshot. Xyp9x again giving himself a chance. Bomb going to get planted by Tensky. He knows he's behind the hut, does Xyp9x, but doesn't know exactly where, and he's waiting for it to present himself, but smart play. Tensky's not going to peek it, and he has to go hunting. Config able to take him.
It's going to be potentially almost guaranteed to be double figures for Dignitas on the T side. This is one of their favorite maps. Difficult veto process for Astralis. Obviously, when you get 1 veto before the picks come in, they had to get rid of Nuke. That's just such a hard map to approach. Even the top teams are struggling with that still. They don't really know how to approach that T side. You can see with the last game we casted it, right? Like, mid-game, they were showing each other how to do smokes. It's not a map you can approach with in this kind of scenario. So going into this one, PT-50s, HE grenades on the CT. You've got 3 of them. That's for the airstrike. They were taking those towards B. You can see them actually with them in their hand right now. So they're hoping that wall of smoke comes in and Dignitas is like the execute play, drop some HEs in. It probably won't get a kill, but it'll do a ton of damage and make the pistols a little bit more viable. But this is a full-on default right now. This is how you should be playing your NT codes. Ladies and gentlemen, hold up. You don't need to run in towards B. You don't need to rush anything. You've got a huge advantage of the firepower. Use the time. See if you can maybe sacrifice one player to go and find the picks with some flashbangs or smokes. Work out as a stack, then you stay together and go the other direction. That's the plan, but that's the first HE working out. Rubino goes down to 54 HP.
Meanwhile, the bomb is going back over toward A. As you say, slow place so far. Rubino waiting a drop just to try and get some attention, hold the CTs in place. So far working out because Kerrigan's alone on the A side, and with the smoke glaives not rotating, Xyp9x is there to try and set across. Guess what? Bomb. Well, there you go. Okay, all right, Kerrigan. Good peek. Takes the first headshot. I was going to say, there you go. A site giving up. Bomb re-grabbed immediately, though, on the trade kill from Tensky, and Cajun's just waiting for the cross, gets the information, not the shot with the Tech 9, but they know Glaive's behind the truck, and he's getting absolutely swarmed out. Good play from him, good aggressive play, because Config's still trying to wrap around to find him, and as he does that, Glaive gets 2. That gives Zonic a chance. He takes down Config, and it's just Rubino left, as Zonic picks up his first kill. Again, like you said, he doesn't have to do much, just the 1 or 2 here and there, and the information gathered, it's Rubino that's now against him, and Zonic gets aggressive, he clutches it out as well.
He's starting to come alive. A big round there, and Zonic performing. It was a difficult situation. They only had the P250s. Kerrigan opened things up towards long A, and I was saying it looked like a perfect round for Dignitas at that point. They had to smoke off before they actually went towards the side. I'm not sure what they had remaining.
Was in the smoke, but Rubino's going to jump through it, spray down. Everyone gets away from that, stay alive, and it's opportunity for Device to find the kill instead, changing his angle, and Zonic's going to start off again by taking Cajun. He's traded out by the Flames, but again, it's the 1 kill information gathered, and they're able to clean them up. Kill for him, starting to get rolling. This will build the confidence for him. 4 kills now, 4 rounds now for Astralis total, interestingly enough. So
aggressive first pick hasn't worked out too well for him. I think if he just sticks to that turret mentality, listening to the calls from his teammates, trying to find that first kill at the start of the round, that's absolutely fine. But it's going to be 5 AKs for Dignitas. This is what I'm used to seeing. You'll see a smoke going towards that mid-connector momentarily, and then they go for the map control. They'll be smoked out for now, that's not a problem. Look at the damage for the door for both teams, in fact. MSL goes under 5, and Device gets the same treatment, but comes off a little better. He goes under 20 HP. But this is the standard default we expect to see from Dignitas. They're so good at working this map, but the thing is, this is the derby game, 2 Danish teams going at it. They know exactly how Dignitas play, so they're using their utility wisely and holding them off for now.
So Zonic that time, you saw it, pre-ready with the smoke, was just looking for the information, dropped it as soon as the flash came over and retreats back. They've pulled Glaive over to the site. So Device started at mid. We saw the spray through, going to 20 HP. He doesn't want to sit in a vulnerable position. He wants to get back over toward B, where his aim becomes the game, and he's going to play it from the new stairwell added to the B platform on the AWP as well. So they swap it due to the HP. So all due to that early damage. Can't find the shot as they try and peek in through B. He relocates again behind Statue, not a sprayable position. Again, that 20 HP the factor in his positioning choice. As Kerrigan at the rock is going to have to play this out, but it's Glaive instead with 2. It gives information. Kerrigan falls back. Not sure if they're going to go to the windowsill, but thankfully Zonic's able to watch that. He just has to anchor that position down and let them focus inside of the site. Device and Xyp9x, they'll do exactly that.
Out of it, a couple of kills. Dignitas didn't really invest too much into that round, so that's not a big deal. Didn't
Love the double up setup, and with the situation of this roster, roster right now.
It's okay. It worked for a couple of rounds. The problem is as soon as the T's know you're doing it, that's when they go for a very set-piece mentality. They just lock you out of the smokes, but that works very nicely. I said someone had to step up here, had that killer instinct to go for those first picks. That's a difficult angle to face as well. CageNB wasn't expecting it. Karrigan opening things up 5-on-4. That's exactly what they need. Now they can fall back. The hard work has been done and allow the T's to make the next move. That's kind of locked down the T's before they've even begun. They have got some danger control and towards middle, but with this man advantage now, this puts CTs in a great position.
So Karrigan looking for the fast shot toward long, has Zonic beside him to support if that shot is unsuccessful and has to retreat with the AWP. On top of that, Glaive close by as well, watching bottom of middle. Dignitas still committing onto this A side, a minute left to work with. So a three-man play on A, which is Astralis have done now twice. It's not common, but they've had good reads when they've done so. Flash through, Glaive has to go through the smoke to protect himself because he's fully blind. He's actually successfully gone by them. And Karrigan, Xyp9x, they find the kills. Glaive can easily walk back in, get the backstab, and Rubino goes down at Xyp9x instead. But smart play from Glaive, just where it is, Config finds it.
Yeah, I think Config just saw his head, he was boosting up, so he knew to look beneath him there, but that was a very tense round indeed. We thought Zonic comes in as well, but Dignitas, like we said, they're very good at these set pieces. Once they actually started trading frags and got themselves in a clutch position, they've got themselves back in this game, but the money is just not a problem for Astralis right now. Tons of cash, and that kind of evidence to show you, Matt, that the double orb setup can be locked down in those situations when the orb has to rotate in, but doesn't seem to be stopping him this time. Karrigan goes towards danger. He takes down Config, but MSL answers back quickly, and they're going to be going for a fast A approach here. Glaive doing what he can.
Tensky takes him back, though, immediately. So rotation time for Astralis. Xyp9x gets there in time to cross over to the site. That's huge, because he can try and slow them, and they don't have an easy, safe plan out of this. They do still have three members looming large. All AKs, no utility, and Xyp9x again is going to step up. 2 kills for him. He'll fall to CageNB, but there's the flank from Device.
Accumulate. And they haven't had the chance to do that. They're going for a force buy here. It's a bit risky, but they want to do the same treatment towards Astralis and see what they can do. But 4 pistols and AK, maybe a faster tactic here, but Glaive opens things up, takes on MSL. He can fall back. That 5-on-4 situation once again, working out very nicely for the CTs.
Device going to play aggressively toward the Archer zone. Molotov extinguished by smoke, just overthrown slightly. Tried to place it so that if they push through aggressively, they take damage on the way, but it's going to be 8 that they attack, and aggressively so. Karrigan here with an AWP flashed out. They're getting close. He's got a hit nail. The shot at cannons can't do it, but pistol, no refrag. CageNB's late to it. He turns back to find Xyp9x. It's only 1. Good response by him in the end, but a missed shot did allow this to be 1 kill against them that should not have been. Zonic there to clean it up in the end, and 6 kills.
Astralis after they lost that second round, but this has been a very different affair. It's Xyp9x. Their star players are stepping up. It's not necessarily Device. It's actually the guy we rely on clutches who's finding all the frags. Karrigan once again gets the opening pick. Karrigan, 1 smoke, 2 flashbangs. Quite a simple play coming in potentially. And we'll be going into a pretty solid default. They can see Xyp9x boosted up. He'll be looking for any sort of Dignitas players, trying to get a bit of vision here, and that's actually a very difficult boost to counter. Tensky, a little bit more aggressive. That's the advantage of the USP, of course, seeing if he can get anything out of this one. Doesn't spot anyone for now, and that's normally the indicative of a B-sided attack. And he's by himself, so they can justify 4 players towards B for now.
It's Glaive out toward the courtyard still.
Interesting as well, MSL, they haven't got a kit. He's gone for the 5-7 smoke combination. That smoke's already gone. So if the bomb does go down, it's more difficult to clutch here, but the 5-7, obviously at 20 bullets, very good at spraying compared to the USP, so he's looking to do damage in that manner. Smoke's on hand for Karrigan. Looks like this B-side attack will be coming in.
And he's
towards Connect.
He's in a position as well to get baited in. Oh, Glaive just reads it. Bye-bye. Thanks so much, Rubino. I don't care that you're there. I'll take the low HP and the 5-7 for that matter. I haven't elected to grab it just yet. But Glaive taking full advantage is going to create the opening. Karrigan with 2 more. Remember, in the first pistol, he had 3 to pull it back for Astralis. This time he's up to 2. It's all on Tensky. 17 HP, and with bomb planted, as you mentioned, no kits. This is going to be 11 for Astralis, and pending an eco this time, could very well be 12 to 13 before Dignitas get back into it.
Boosted his money, and he's taking an AK to the next round. Yes, he can. Okay, so it's recovered. But
not though with the USP, and that allows Device 1 more. As 2 kills for him now to start it off. MSL can't even go for a flank. Glaive's been watching this from courtyard, and they can comfortably rotate back his direction.
At this point, they found the first 2 kills. They've established his USPs. Not really much work to do at this point. Stick together. You can see Device. He's got the MP7 looking to farm some cash by himself towards that upper platform area. He's already found 2 kills. So he's absolutely fine. It's going to be Karrigan taking down MSL. Round over. And once again, they don't need to hunt at all. They know they've got nothing. There's no justification of looking for these players. Let them come to you. They have to stick together, make sure you keep all 5 players alive, and start building that economy and set ourselves up for a really successful second half here. We'll be
side. And a 3-2 split for the CTs with Rubino. Quick flash to drop Config and Cajun, and Cajun with the AWP, as mentioned, is going to play passively, in fact, out toward the statue, so they won't be able to shut down Device, who continues to go aggressive on entry. Meanwhile, watch Karrigan. He's already down drop. He's already going to get in behind them. He's got the AWP out, but Rubino's read it. He heard him coming. That could have been a huge kill. That could have completely spoiled the plans of the CTs, but now it's a 2-man advantage, and Glaive found but saved by Zonic. It pulls it back slightly. That's a huge overextension, I have to say, from Tensky. They've got a 2-man advantage. He goes into the T side of the map.
No need for it whatsoever. Like I said, even a 1-man advantage from the CT side of Cobalt, that's enough to justify falling back to the bottom side. Tensky, what are you playing at? What a blunder. Gives Astralis a window here. You can see Zipex now made his way towards window. Rubino smartly playing it though. Wants to play passive, make the T's commit to a bomb site before they show themselves, but it's not rare to see these kind of cavalier rounds from a T side on the first gun. They know the CTs are struggling a little bit with the utility, maybe don't have the kits. Go in nice and fast and see if there's a bit stacked towards B, or we can find that first kill like we saw Karrigan. That's really audacious, running up towards middle, straight towards balcony of an orb. That's pretty unheard of. They've got a ton of money right now, so they can justify it in this manner.
It would have been something special. Even if he had a rifle, he could have played it a little more aggressively, perhaps, in terms of peeking the window, but flash through from Zipex Config, not foiled by that, able to dodge it due to the cranny, nook and cranny on the wall. Back to a 2-man advantage. As Zonic and Glaive, the 2 stand-ins, have to pull this off for Astralis. Trade 1 for 1 as MSL will go down and Rubino finds the immediate refrag, but now it's Zonic with bomb. Still has a chance to get toward this A site, at least get a plant for them, build up some more economy.
Nice.
Missed smoke. That actually leaves the shot open, down to 46. As he gets tagged up on cross, they're going to try and deny the plant, but he's got it down. Rubino's there, dead either way. And it will be 13-6 now with a bomb plant, and as you say, knowing the economy's still tight on Dignitas' side, they can break them again.
And try and find the rest of the players, but such a high-risk maneuver. It's going to be Astralis with that bomb down, an extra $800. The money's not as strong as I would have hoped, but 2 P90s and 3 AKs. That suggests a full-on rush map. Those are the run-and-gun weapons for sure. 50 bullets of hell. If you get towards drop down with those bad boys, things can happen. It looks like Zipex will be doing exactly that. Through the fire, of course.
2 Molotovs, thankfully not stacked on top of each other. Otherwise, that could have been even more damage, but Rubino's going to take down Zipex. Config kicks down Glaive, things falling apart very fast. 2 fast rounds for Dignitas. You said the first one, okay, you can be a little cavalier knowing the situation, but this time they just walk into a slaughter, and this is where they start to throw the economy away. And Dignitas can start to claw back some rounds, because this could go to 13-7. No money going to be left over for Device and the rest of his team unless he can pull off a miracle here.
Obviously, they haven't worked the defaults of this lineup. With Zonic coming in as well, he'll know the general idea and what they should be doing, but I think they're just trying to surprise him, finish this game nice and early with these surprise tactics. Like, what is that? Rush, drop down with 2 P90s. That's not something in their strat book. That's just something they've called off the fly. Want to see if they can make things happen. They're running through the fire. I think when the Molotov got dropped, that's when you need to say, right, we'll cancel this. We'll work it out later. We'll do a flashbang, do the same thing. Zipe's going down to, what, like 20 HP before he even got towards the window room. And Rubino, nice and defensive towards the window once again. He takes him down. 1 player drop. That's going to be Cajun B. That was the AWP, but obviously Config has salvaged that weapon. Now it's just going to be Device. Right now, the only objective is really to dent the economy further for CT's in the greater game.
Device, okay. Good reactions, takes Tensky. So at least a chance for him to escape and stay alive with this AK. That's the plan. Bomb surrounded by 3 Dignitas players.
Device showing himself to be a world-class rifler once again. He has been known to be on the AWP for the last maybe 6 months, I would say. And he's actually said quite openly, like, he feels more confident on the rifles right now, gives him more freedom, and it's paying off. Like, Harrigan's no slouch with the AWP, that's for sure. We saw him in the first half finding those aggressive picks. I didn't think he had it in him, but nailing almost every shot in that last round was evident. Those 4 lead. Let's not start making things difficult for ourselves, right? Just see what we can do with the AK this time. We've got Device, that we said, world-class with this weapon. Let's see if he can do anything with it.
Well, it's going to be exactly as you say. Just keep up. Pistols, no armor for Karrigan, Zipex, or Glaive, by the way. Zonic has elected to go for the head armor. Viable against the M4s. There is an AK and an AWP, rather 2 AKs and an AWP against them as Tensky and Rubino are holding onto the terrorist-sided rifles on the CT side. Rubino, quick rotation back over toward Tensky, try and catch out that early aggression, that early nade that was thrown out at A that potentially meant a rush coming in. They know the situation, they know the money's light, so a fast play could have been expected in this regard, but it has slowed down, and Astralis are just going to work a pick game across the map right now. Interestingly enough, but there goes the only AK. Yeah. Taken by Cajun B, it's just on the edge, and just Kerrigan, oh, he does get to it. Cajun's not scoped in time.
He should get this kill as well. Actually, Cajun's very blind here. Just to break this one down as this one's building up, the idea was that Device goes towards B by himself, finds that first pick. They've got a couple of smokes. As soon as he gets that pick, they're executing towards that A-bomb. So this could get interesting, though. Kerrigan does a ton of damage towards Cajun. Maybe this still has legs to it, but he gets taken down. They'll see nothing else is there, and that kind of tactic is thwarted now. They're going to have to work out what's going on. And they would have used those smokes towards the balcony, the connector, and try to get a quick plant down. But Rubino should lock them down at this point.
Gets two. Good enough in this case, because it's now a 1 versus 4 for Xyp9x to try and pull back. He's got a second on MSL with the Tech-9, so he's still pushing forward, bomb down toward long, but he's got an AK to work with. Tensky doesn't really care what.
He's not going to be the one lighting it up with the crazy aim. It's he's going to be given the bomb, and he's literally his objective right now, Matt. We'll do the execution. We'll give you the path to the bomb site. You just go in and plant it. If you die afterwards, that's fine. We'll do the work afterwards. That's a pretty interesting call. You can see how they're utilizing Zonic, one of the weaker fraggers, of course. And that's how they're deciding to throw him into the bomb site. Hope for the best. And we'll see how this works out for them.
And Device again is going to be the one to try and open it up. This time doesn't go as fast toward that B platform position. Just sits back slightly, and perhaps smartly so, because Cajun B has gotten to the stairwell with the AWP this time ahead of the terrorist attack, which means walk around that corner carelessly, you're going to have a problem. Flash goes over. That does catch Cajun. Spam through. They know he's there. He still wants to stick to the stairwell, though, but finally a smoke is going to give him a chance to go elsewhere. He'll play Statue. Double drop setup as well for the CTs, and Glaive Zonic with bomb dropped off of him right now, just trying to push some aggro to get the CTs pushed back into A and potentially have some map control late in the round. It is 50 seconds. Talk about long rotations and have to commit usually around the 30-second mark, and with Kerrigan heading over to B, that might be where they head.
They have two smokes, a Molotov, and haven't really gathered anything. See, Zonic, he hasn't got the bomb anymore. He's giving that towards Kerrigan, so Zonic is going to be the bait at this point. Like we saw from Freiburg yesterday, he'll hurt towards danger, see if he can get in rotation kills. That Tech-9, if he can just get enough attention towards that B side, he can come in through connector and potentially cause an upset here. But here comes the execution, Xyp9x to lead the charge towards drop down.
Glaive goes in first. Follow up, Xyp9x is there, potential for trade if Config's able to find Glaive first. Molotov's gonna mean he gets stuck in the corner. They know he's there, he jumps up, finds one, nearly sprays in and takes Glaive as well as he goes down to 28. But watch the time, 9 seconds. They know Cajun's inside chicken and they've sprayed him down, but Rubino can spoil this still with no smoke on the cross. Bombs dropped off Kerrigan. There's 1 second left, the round is over and they could lose money at this. Zonic money again, he only had a fraction, in fact, $400 is what he gets left with.
Yeah, so Device and Zonic both for the bomb plant opportunity before they're actually showing their crossfires off. But Astralis did what they could. Like I said, they left Zonic, sorry, towards that A site. He was hoping to have some sort of distraction there, but he couldn't hear any footsteps. Didn't get him any intel there. And now this is an interesting game, Matt. This could actually lead somewhere. We thought Astralis were going to run away with this one, but since the gun round's begun, Dignitas have been pretty solid. It will be a full eco, of course. The money's been completely wrecked for Astralis here. If you die after the actual round time has expired, there's no plants, of course. That means you get zero money. You don't even get the $1,400. You get absolutely nothing. So this could be a double eco potentially for us. So let's see how they decide to operate. Xyp9x is the one with the Tech-9. He's got a flash as well. Basically flashing towards drop down. Here it comes. Try and swarm the player, but at this point there will be no Dignitas presence there. There's no need there. You know you've broken their economy. You know how this game works. You don't need to make close counter in situations a factor. Just Rubino to spot it, fall back, and call for his teammates.
Glaive already down on drop with Zonic just behind. Rubino's waiting on the windowsill for a chance to walk in. Big information gained. Can't land the shot though with the AK. Dignitas have to wait for the push, which comes now as Cajun B finds Device, but it's Rubino. Cajun again, fast shot to Zonic, just one more to find. It's Config that's gonna get Xyp9x over the edge of the wall. But very good anti-eco Dignitas, and they're within 3 rounds. The money is still not going to be ideal with those 2 post-round deaths on both Device and Zonic. So they'll buy into this, but they're going to be limited again. Zonic goes to the AK rather than Tech-9 this time. He's got a little bit more cash than the previous gun round for them, but no utility still.
Yeah, the last round boat is building up for them, so that's the only saving grace. When you see Zonic, no grenades. Device, no grenades. So they're going to be a little bit hard for actual set-piece executions here, but they have got 5 weapons available, no AWP, of course. So Cajun B will be holding strong towards that B side. Tensky once again alone towards A. It's going to be another B side type of look thing. Device, like we said, the star player, he'll be trying to smoke himself into position, checking those new steps out first, see if anyone's going aggressive. And that's an interesting smoke. I guess that landed on top of a Molotov, Matt. You can see that. a little cloud.
I like it.
So that, I don't think that's not part of the game. It's a little bit of a bug, I guess. When the Molotov's there already, you fucking smoke on. Wherever the smoke touches fire, that's where it explodes. Not very realistic, but, you know.
Realism's overrated.
Yeah.
I live in a dream state all the time.
It's true. Well, they have fun.
Every day I get to cast with you is a dream. Kerrigan, flash, avoided, takes Tensky, who tries to peek on the back of that. Down to 10 HP, but a good trade kill, well, refrag, I should say, late refrag to bring it back to 4-on-4. Config, though, just spotting the head of Xyp9x. Remember, he was the star of the first half. He sits on 24. It's Kerrigan that's picked up the pace this time around, and Zonix trades to take Config as Glade's lost. They're still down one man, and HP low on Kerrigan. They've got to act fast, and oh, this could be overlooked. No, well, there is a ball top on Zonix, but that late in the round, they're never going to consider. At
this point, I think Astralis is happy to win the round. Device didn't really have to do too much either. He was the...
Just one of those things.
An insight to your special mind.
Yep, it is quite special. I always wished I was synesthetic, but I'm not. So quick flashes over top and a smoke as well, potentially trying to foil the plans of Dignitas' defense, force them back a little. KGB can't go to the stairwell comfortably, but he's been playing the statue quite well with the AWP, no less. See if that reaps rewards late in the round. MSL, meanwhile, danger with Tensky, have to flash themselves out. There's no real escape plan. They line up, and Glade's going to take both. Well done to him. Quick swap to the other A1S that's down on the ground, and they'll start to approach this A site. Flashes, no smoke. That leaves Rubino to walk back in. He's able to get one. But Sonic getting him with an aid, leaves just Config and Cajun. And Config, though, on the site, flash in. He's going to try and just sit comfortably, not crouching behind the wall, which means Device, if he can find this first kill, can wrap onto him. Good pick. It's just him to try and do something heroic. 1 versus 4. Quick plant, Xyp9x not gonna check it. Oh, the giant trigger discipline in the lineup. He's got 2. He's given himself a chance. And there's low HP on Kerrigan with AWP. They have to get back to this bomb. They've got 45 seconds to do it. And it's Config that's gonna make the move first. He gets off the platform. He could totally surprise them all. As he pops back out, it's Device to go down. Config, this is a huge, huge round because this was potentially in a 1 versus 4 map point for Astralis. And as mentioned, Kerrigan is low on HP. He's trying desperately to find the op pick. Still behind the wall at top middle. He's gotten a little bit closer to the van. But Config's watching the angle, and he's done it. 1 versus 4. This is huge. They're not going to have guns hardly in the next round. They're only going to get 1900. They're on 3 digits at best right now. 150 at best in residual cash left on Glaive. So this is... I mean, this is 14-14 potentially if this round goes the way of Dignitas, and they've got the one-man advantage with Kerrigan down early. Flash, MSL can't find it, but Tensky's there to follow it up, and now his vision restored. Tries to find Device, but that doesn't go his way. However, the rotations do definitely favor Dignitas as they've committed to this A site, and Config pushing through B tunnels. That gives them no option to go backwards, to hit the reverse button and try and find B instead. It's Device that's going to try and open it. Goes in first. Shots give away his position that he's closer, but which angle does he approach? He can't look at Tensky. He's got to look at Rubino, and instead he peeks out, drops him, and Tensky on Zonic. It's Xyp9x 1 versus 4. His turn to try and imitate Config to do the same in reverse, but position this time not as strong, and there's Config himself, the flank.
They didn't check the site. It's a very common setup. Obviously, it's very easy to say that with 20/20 hindsight, I agree, but it's a pretty common procedure. Just check the site before you plant. There was so much time available. They weren't up against the ropes in that manner. There was 40 seconds on the clock when that happened, and that could potentially lose them the game now. It's given Dignitas a resurgence, some revitalization, and one more round to draw things up. Kerrigan didn't want to count with the Glock, but this is going to be almost guaranteed 14-14 now.
MSL sticking to the MP9, knowing the situation against pistols. KGB here to support with the AWP. Very good chance, as you said, by Kerrigan to get Rubino down to 9 HP. Flash in, MSL gets more damage, can't overextend slightly, but does drop bomb eventually. Device gets him, but Xyp9x takes down Zonic. So unfortunately a kill going the wrong way, and Xyp9x, again, that actually drops him from 24 down to 23. I'm still going to say he's got 24 kills in this game, obviously, but it just goes to show you how quiet he's been, considering how great he was in the first half on the CT side. Instead, again, Kerrigan the one to step up tremendously.
So the next round they're going to get what? They're going to get $2,400. What do they got right now? So they're going to be, it's not going to be the best fight. They have enough for AK-47s and not all the utility. I think someone can get an AWP and the Device who wants to, and that's been great. That's what kept in these gun rounds. Kerrigan was working those picks, but they're not going to have the kind of luxuries. If they want to get an AWP, they won't have head armor. Makes you a lot weaker against those M4s. Currently 4-on-2. They're trying to do what they can. It's going to be an MP9 in the hands of Xyp9x and no grenades whatsoever, and they're going to be flanked coming in from Config. A little bit too much, quite aggressive, but he does find the kill, so that's fine. Device remains, PD-50 in hand, no real reason to hunt him here. Let's hold on, potentially make him lose all his cash, but there it is. Config does find it. 4 to Salute, right?
Yeah, huge.
You got the back left and you got behind the side. That's such a rookie play.
Well, it may, in fact, like you said, cost the game. This is essentially it for Astralis, the last buy. Well, on the other side, there's money left over, so it's not an easy task, no matter how you slice it for Astralis. Well, Glaive already trying to clear out long A, and Zonic with bomb again. He's going to be the one, like you say, clear the path for him. He's just going to wait for the information. Good opening, Kerrigan. This time they did not go. We didn't mention it, but we alluded to it previously. They did not go for the AWP so that they had execution. They've got 4 smokes still left and an opening pick.
Kerrigan's been the one doing all the work here on the gun round on the T side. This time, not even the AWP. He faces towards long A, trying to get something out of this round. Gets it through the smoke as well. Tensky going down. 5 on 4. They have smokes remaining as well. I would assume this will be the A play at this point. You can see Zipex and Device rotating over. They have that smoke potential. Balcony, connector, stick as a unit. Try and use the number advantage you have. And this is a real chance. Just MSL on the A side now. This is just to get them to overtime. That'll be enough to relieve the pressure and get them back into this one.
Glaive tries to flash himself in, but a nade comes through. That's going to put him on 42. Uses his second flash for the same effect. It's cannons this time that MSL's playing. Similar to Config, he's going to try and wait and allow them to walk into his crosshair, but they will check it this time. Nearly line it up. It's Kerrigan with 1, but there's the response. Config!
So you feel like the storyline, the romance of it all, you thought they were going to do it up against all odds. But they've fallen at the last hurdle here.
And this revitalizes the mental game of Dignitas moving into map 2, and certainly weighs heavy on Astralis' mind. So they've got a refresh from this if they can't pull this off. Playing still for overtime. It's not done just yet, remember. Zonic takes the first damage down to 74, but they're approaching fast, very fast. Smokes out. Config's got to rotate to the balcony instead. They've already forced back Rubino, in that position as Tensky drops. So this is actually reasonable for Astralis to get to the site. Glaive's got MSL. Overtime. It's looking likely, but it's Rubino to pull one back. Good refrag from Device. And it's all the Cajun B. Not to happen this time. Overtime. Fast play. I mean, unorthodox round, and they pull it off, Astralis.
I don't think they can believe it. AWP is on Kerrigan this time. We'll see whether he goes for that first pick, and Cajun B opens things up, takes down Glaive.
Good start for them on this CT side. Again, this has been the problem for Astralis. They're going to need at least 1. That goes without saying. Obviously, you need 1 to win the map, but I mean, it's so important to get it on this T side early. Config taking Device, brings it to 2-man, but good trade from Zipix. Remember, if you lose 2 in a row with MR3 and 10K, you can be forced to save in the 3rd overtime round, so that also is a problematic situation for Astralis if they can't find a round early on, as the AWP on Kerrigan, Zipix on 11 HP, and a man down. They need to find the next pick.
You can see how Dignitas are approaching that situation. Some of the players not getting head armor. If you're wondering why that's happening, no one's going to be buying SMGs in these kind of rounds. They're going to have straight up AKs. So it's not really worth buying the head armor in any scenario in this, but obviously helps against the pistols somewhat, but it's just to try and keep the CT money strong, which can be a problem. Now Kerrigan, once again, towards that drop-down area. The man disadvantage right now, but Rubino in his classic position. Kerrigan surely going to be knowing, but the barrel's sticking out and will be taken down. Not going to find anything this time. It will be 1-0, almost certainly. And Zonic is very low HP as well. He's the one who's got to do something here. He's the coach, the guy that doesn't play. And he's the one who's got to be opening up the A bomb site here. Let's see what he can do.
And they're surrounded. They're walking in slowly to a pincer effect because Tensky's still out at stables. Can cut them off. Actually, smart play for Zonic to go back around to the balcony. Rubino's just dropped down. They're going to have no idea. Does Zonic consider it? Looks down. Headshot done. Thank you very much, Tensky. He's still not going to move on this. He's going to play efficiently and allow his team to rotate over. And Zonic this time, yeah, I will check the corners. Thank you very much. Bomb goes down safely from Zipix. They've got something to work with on this, but there it is. Tensky, he waited the whole time, and they had no idea he was there. Low HP. Zipix gets desperate, jumps over the wall, and he's greeted by MSL.
Yeah, nice stuff from Astralis, considering the situation, managing the bomb down and having an opportunity to win the round, but you're absolutely right. Tensky on $1,700 already, so if they were to lose this round, they will be up against it, but number 2 comes in, just a single off on the CT still. It's going to be 1-0 in favor of Dignitas here. I'm going to say right now, I predict them to get the 3-0. Like, their gun rounds are so much stronger. It took some miracles for Charlotte to even get some rounds on the board, but let's see how this pans out.
And that's the scary part. I mean, Dignitas, based on how the T side went for Astralis, it was 4 rounds total. 3 came off the pistol. It definitely looks favorable for them. Again, first pick, we emphasize that Astralis needs to stabilize the map. They need to push the CTs back. So far, they haven't done that at long A. And Device, he may go around this corner quickly, flash over. There's two toward the hay bales. Good Molotov. That should force them out, but he overextends slightly. MSL doesn't peek it. That allows Device to get the kill, but he can't spray down the second. So it is traded back, but they know he's here at long. And good rotation. MSL's going to find Device trying to wrap back. Zonic, and leaving it back up, though. In fact, give them a one-man advantage as Karrigan has AWP just watching for rotation. Zonic's very far forward. He's the one with bomb, but he's got config as well. Eventually, he goes down to Robino. But they still have the man advantage on this. However, that's pulled back. Good drop in from Cajun B. And they have to go on this A site. 49 seconds, bombs at Stables. They've just grabbed that again now, but if they try and run back, Cajun B's looking toward it. He spotted it. He's got it again. Glaive down. And this, Karrigan, I mean, that was a call to go to B. That's a desperate call late, considering they have no information.
Well, the bomb's down now as well. 35 seconds. He's pretty much committed to this side of the map. He has got the AWP. One kill will be enough, but that timing is not going to work out in his favor. And after Zon left in a horrible situation, that will be the 2-0 now. And like I said, they're going to be struggling with cash. Zipex on the Tech 9, Karrigan with no grenades. No AWPs available, that's for sure. Dignitas looking very strong for the 3-0 here. But saying that map, it was the Tech 9s and AKs that actually got us here. So who knows what's about to happen.
The beauty of CSGO.
Indeed.
We'll sell you the whole seat. You'll only need the edge. Games like these, how beautiful they are. Rubino going to watch bottom a drop. It's going to be a smoke out in front of Karrigan to slow the play. And Config's gone toward the stairwell at B this time. It's Rubino to start it. Karrigan just goes through. Not ideal situation, again, to give away that first pick and one of the AKs. So not even re-grabbable, I do believe. I'll double check it. I do believe that went down over the edge. So yeah, it did, absolutely. So no way to grab that back. As Device pulls Tensky, though, this will make it a little more interesting as MSL trades it. Glaive still has a smoke in front. They need to rely on Zipex to get up to the top of the ramp and catch him off. Glaive instead does it himself, but a good pincer effect. Good rotation from Cajun, but he's caught in the open as well. As it's Rubino and Config. 2 versus 3. Zipex still with that Tech 9, but they've allowed the flash to get him in better position, and Zonic goes bionic to take down Config. It's just Rubino, 1 versus 3. And this could be the one round Astralis need. Unless Rubino's got something to save it. 2 kills so far, 2 more to find. Bomb ticking. He's got a kit. He's going to try and elevate himself to find the shot on Zonic. He's done it. Glaive, he can't move. He can't afford to. He knows he's at Stables. And Rubino's on 2 HP, but he gets the shot toward him. The pillar is all that saves Glaive. Baits out with the tap. And Glaive, he's playing this correctly. He's going to have to go eventually. And it's going to be now that Rubino gives it up. Glaive just stays alive. Smart to escape.
What a tense situation.
Still has a kit, though. He still has time to hold this. They're still available to him. And Glaive, he's shoulder checking in 1 second. Thankfully, he hits the shot one. So fair there, but still 7 kills in now what has been 18 rounds. Zonic, meanwhile, 17 total. He's keeping his weight up for sure. He's, in fact, ahead of Tensky right now, who's 14 and 22. But overall frag distribution, fairly even for both teams if you weigh them 1-to-1.
Have we had any other overtimes this tournament so far? I don't think we have.
I definitely don't think so. Last time we had a lot of overtimes in Columbus, especially I think a triple overtime game with Mouse Sports in that particular affair. And for that matter, flip side, I think they were against in that one.
I don't think we've had any overtime yet, from my recollection, at least the games I've seen. Kind of fair. They'd be taking this map. I predicted like 12 rounds on the first half. I thought, well, they've got going now. That'll be it. There's no chance Astralis can hold them off. They actually won the first half. What, like 10-5 was it? Like it was
10-5, yep, 100% 10-5. It was 4-1 at a point for Dignitas as well, so really well executed half. And to be fair, that all goes up to Zipex. You know, I've kind of harped on him for a slow second half of this game, but the first half he was incredible.
Well, then we do get into it. It will be Dignitas now on the T side. They have got the AWP Cajun beat. Karrigan, of course, AWPing himself, very aggressive on the regulation time. Once again, he's towards long A. He was very successful getting his first picks, but the problem is they're aware of his kind of play now. He was doing fantastic work towards his danger position as well. He has got backup in the form of Glaive towards the top of middle, so he's just spotting for information right now. Seeing if he can, there you go. So he's spotting that gap. Then anyone crosses over, he can tell Karrigan, okay, you need to be careful of danger. That could actually be a possibility right now. Boost up towards the B side. It's actually Zonic in the tree position. Can be very good for those wall of smoke executions when they come in. Obviously, Molotov will be dropping on you sometimes, but if you can negate that, you can do a lot of work. As we are getting into that. This is what Dignitas were paying for. We didn't see enough of this on their actual default and regulation. They just forgot everything they're so good at, of working this mid-control, getting towards long A, taking vision away from CTs. This is what they're amazing at. And just keeping the CTs second-guessing as to what's going on. You can see CTs have nothing going on right now. They have to fall back. They can't really hold any close positions. They didn't do any of this. They kind of forgot how they play the game in regulation, but I think they've had to have time to discuss it now and calm down. They've done the hard work now after that amazing work from Config. But here we go, 45 seconds. They still have 2 smokes and 3 smokes and Molotovs. They can fully execute if they wanted to.
Aggressive.
Okay.
Glaive tries to flash himself back in, and that gives it away.
That's silly. There's no need for that whatsoever. That's such a YOLO play. Like I said, the tracers and the noise, he's going to find him.
And now Kerrigan's left on his own. There's no support system. He can't come back to save him. That's all Glaive's job to try and bail Kerrigan out at that point in time. Xipix is caught in the open. Tensky with that kill. It's going to be the round to Dignitas on T side, potentially here. That should pretty much secure it as Zonic goes down to Config. And that's the one round Dignitas need to equalize Astralis' total.
Glaive playing like a bit of a donut there, Matt. I have to say that there was no need for that. He's got smoke down. He's got the M4A4. Again, the silence M4 is a little bit more justifiable, but running through like that, like you said, he did it in the drop-down position as well.
Individual contribution in that respect. It's Kerrigan again that's going to play alone on the A site. It's a 4-man stack on to B, but as you mentioned, Dignitas have adapted since that first half, and they're slowing it down, playing a more 3-man default to wait for these pushes.
Yeah, they're ready for it this time, and it's going to be more of the same, I think. They're going to be doing the default coming into us, Tensky towards long A, but Kerrigan with the AWP, went for the aggressive pick at the start, but doesn't get anything for us, so we'll be falling back, but presumably this will be the smoke towards middle, smoke towards long A, that takes him out of the round, and we have to fall back to the bomb side, pretty much exactly what we saw in the previous, and this is what I like to see. This is why I think they're such a good Cobble team, because they have such a great understanding of how to dissect this map and remove the CTs from certain equations. There's the smokes, there's the flashes, and now you can see the reactions. CTs have to go back to the bomb site. That takes Intel away. Like I said, Cobble's one of those maps you can't really get much for it. Once you have lost these part of the map, it's not like you can push up a B or boost up the drop down. That's another high-risk maneuver, and they have got players watching that hold up. Normally Rubino on the other side of the map. But this is the point they can decide now. Once again, a couple of smokes remaining, Molotovs. They can execute towards A if they wanted to, or they can rotate all the way back onto boards B and have similar effect with Rubino set up towards drop down already.
Precious times. Desperate times for Astralis. Kerrigan waiting, shot, successful. Opening pick in their favor, he takes down Cajun B. As he continues to play top ramp with the AWP this time, he's going to be smoked out, has to rotate it around, but with Xipix already on the balcony, he's actually going to watch this lurk position instead. This is actually a smart team call, because Rubino's waiting to try and pop out and take down the rotations. Xipix gets behind the APC. They have a chance to catch them off, and there it is. Rubino dropped. Kerrigan knows he's the only one in that position. It's typical. They do find the player Config, good entrance. Zonic that was playing at Cannons to try and catch them, and the smoke and flames. It's Kerrigan in the open through the gap. Config, it's Glaive, and Dignitas, they may just pull their map back, as Device has to clutch this 1 versus 3. First shot on Config successful, but Tensky down the ramp, he's gonna hit the headshot, and they'll get away with it. A relief, as map 1 does go to Dignitas.
It was touch and go at one point, 13-5 in favor of Astralis. They had to grind it out round by round, but Dignitas, with a little bit of luck and some huge play from Config, they take it towards overtime, and they stepped up there. Astralis did struggle tremendously in the gun rounds, and that was evident there. What a first game that was, and we do move on to Mirage after this, but I'm not sure whether Astralis have anything left after that.
That's the hard part. You come so close against all odds, against, you know, Dignitas on their map choice, and now you've got to recover after a long game and pull this series back. We're gonna go to the experts, see what they think of this all. There's so much to talk about, so many storylines in that first game.
Thanks very much, you guys. Yeah, there is just so much to talk about. You were talking about Xipnix. That was a port of call for us, most definitely, especially towards that first half. I have myself, Yanko, Thorin, and Moses to talk about this one. Gentlemen, so close yet so far. That overtime took